What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic. I know. Somebody, I have the people who drop in the comments and they're like, blind film critic? ¿Por qué? This is The Secret Agent, or Secret Agent. Um, yeah, this is my review of Secret Agent. Are you ready? Are you strapped in? What's up, Neon? Oh, yeah, yeah, Neon's gonna fucking hate me this year. Uh, so Secret Agent is Brazil's entry into the international Oscar race this year. Last year's entry, I don't know if you remember it, it got a Best Picture nomination. It made it all the way. And there's some talk about maybe Brazil repeating that this year with Secret Agent and getting all the way there this time, thanks to star Wagner Moura, who we saw earlier this year in Dope Thief with Brian Tyree Henry. He's been in other things too, but I mean, like, that was, at least in my mind, that was the last thing that I remember seeing Wagner in. Yeah, so this film is Brazilian, so we're gonna go with Portuguese as the primary language here. This film did well at Cannes. Wagner Moura won a prize there. The director also got some sort of a notice. It didn't win the big prize. It was just an accident, which Neon also bought, and also did not put audio description on. This one has no audio description, and it's not dubbed. It has nothing. Didn't give me anything. So I sat and listened to a kind of longish movie. How long is this movie? It's How long was I watching the movie for? It's over 2 hours. I want to say it's probably about 2.5. I was not paying attention to it because, like, time is a construct when you're watching a movie where you don't understand anything that's going on, and you're waiting for those moments, right, where certain things happen. And there seemed like there were some really heavy moments because there's like some screaming and stuff, and there were like some more intense moments. Like there's also moments with like a little kid that was in there. It's hard to kind of decipher necessarily what the beats were. Are we comedic? Are we dramatic? Are we dramatic? Is this action? Is it thriller? What are we doing here? What is the genre? Um, and then, by God, how far was it in? About like an hour and a half, maybe. Again, time is a construct in this movie. There's finally this meeting, and there are these characters, and they're all speaking English, and they're like, "I'm from Canada," and I'm like, "Oh my God, there's a scene in English." Um, so yes, there is. There is 1% of this movie is in English. But not much. Yeah, there's also a song that they play earlier on. I wish I could remember it, but it is definitely a song that is in English too. It's like a pop song. Um, that they used. The score here is tremendous. Like, fuck Neon for not providing audio description, but yeah, the score here is tremendous. Whoever wrote this score, it's an amazing score. And we are under recognizing this because it's an international feature and people are just like, it's happy to be here. We do that so many times with international features. I know people think I'm being an asshole when I do these reviews, but actually it's because I want world cinema to be more accessible to people because we're getting really xenophobic here in this country, and the only way we're going to do that is by showing people what the rest of the world is like, so people don't think they all eat the dogs and the cats. Anyway, um, yeah, the score here is. I don't know why more people aren't talking about the score. I've heard people talking about scores, and I'm like, well, that score was okay. But I heard Secret Agent, and I was like, man, this score is making the watch not completely like a waste of time. It's sort of like I sat through, it was just an accident, and the sound design there is phenomenal. Um, the way that he captured the sound, especially when you think about the fact that he was kind of making that movie like illegally, and so he had to make that movie in sort of like a clandestine nature. You would think like the setups and everything would make it so that it felt a little bit more like a shaky cam independent feature that just, no, that film sounds great. It sounds like a $50 million Hollywood film. I mean, there are films that are shot here in America that sound worse than that. So, Secret Agent's score is tremendous. It's one of the best scores of the year. Listening to it in the way that it's creative, and it has all these different themes to it, as clearly the movie is like shifting through things. Feels like a movie. Like, if I knew nothing about the film, I was just listening to the score. It feels like a score where the guy is going through like different genres, and like the movie's changing it up, and we're like shifting over here because we're over here now in this new genre, and he's like traveling through things, or he's going through different time periods or something. Like, we're definitely going on a journey with the score, and it's not trying to just create like the same theme. um it really is trying to create these like special moments and really enhance whatever the fuck is underneath it. um so the score is great. I would listen independently to the score for Secret Agent. If you haven't heard it, or if you're blind and you're like, I don't want to see the movie, I don't know, see if you can listen to the score to it. It's beautiful music. Um, so, but Neon, in their infinite wisdom, decided to pick up a shit ton of international features and run them all for the Oscars. And they described one of them, not all of them. And it's probably the one that's not going to get the picture nomination, too, which is going to be hilarious. Uh, although it is that no other choice to get a Golden Globe nomination for Best Picture. But I don't think they can get like all of their films in. I don't think Seurat's going to get in the picture. I have a feeling Secret Agent has a better chance than No Other Choice, and I would definitely say Sentimental Value and It Was Just an Accident are getting nominations. So if a third film gets in, it'll be Secret Agent. So that gives us 3 films this year in the Best Picture race with no audio description, all provided to us by Neon. Thanks, bro. I have no idea what this movie's about. I didn't look it up. I haven't watched, well, I don't want to say I've never watched a review of Secret Agent. I think I have when it came out of Cannes. So I think I've seen other people talk about the movie before. But I don't have like a current like view of my mind of what this movie is about, because like a sighted person would, I sat down to watch the movie and I assumed, as it was presented to me, that I would be able to understand and follow the movie, because that's the assumption that sighted people get to make. They get to just sit down and just watch a movie. So I did that, and guess what? I didn't. I didn't get any of it. I got the one scene, which out of context is so weird and so random. Um, and I got the song, and I got a cool score without any connection to what it's scoring. Um, but yeah, I don't actually know what this movie's about. And if somebody asked me, to vote for Wagner Moore, I wouldn't be able to, because it's like I don't even know when he's speaking. I can't even follow the character. I don't have facial recognition. So it's not just like, for me, that my vision is like kind of bad, and I can kind of see what's on the screen, and I could kind of like facially recognize Wagner Moura, but the little print down at the bottom is like, no, I just fucking can't see the screen. So audio description would have made up a lot of that for me. And if the film is good enough and the story is good enough, then it stands on its own. Now, audio description is not that expensive. It's not. It's price based per minute. So yeah, for longer movies, it's more expensive. But we're talking like $10,000 ish for this movie would have gotten them an audio description track. So when they're spending the money they're spending on these awards campaigns for these movies, um, that's where they drew the line at what they're not. A swag bag coming from Neon, probably to voters, is going to, when they give somebody like an iPhone or something, the Secret Agent on it. I don't know what they do. I don't understand their campaign, but they spent $20 million on Parasite and never put audio description on that movie in America. So, and then they'll claim that they're poor and they don't have enough money for it. And it's like bullshit. Bullshit. So I'm going to review all your movies, and we're going to talk about why I couldn't understand them and what I could understand of them. So somewhere there's a scene where I guess a couple of secret agents come together and need to speak in English. Now, Wagner's fully capable of speaking in English because he's done roles fully in English. So I was thinking maybe he would do more of that here, but it doesn't really seem like. There were a couple times where it seems like he said something in English, but then I was like paying attention. I was like, no, it's you ever like see hear that with like an international film where you hear a word and you're like, that's an English. Oh, it's is it? Did they say an English word? Am I being gaslit? There were a couple times where they would say something, I'd be like, oh, I heard a word, or did I? Because then you realize that everything else that comes after it is still not in the language that you speak. Um, I heard that with Voice of Hamajam, and it was just an accident. There were always words that I could pick up where I was like, huh, that's interesting. So there's not much I can do with Secret Agent except say it's inaccessible to blind and low vision people, obviously, unless you're Spanish. And I would even question that, or Portuguese, right? I would question that. So let's say that you are here, because we have a lot of people who speak Portuguese. We have a lot of Brazilians. We have, I mean, there are people who live here. Are you running a Portuguese audio description track in theaters in its original language? Is there any audio description that's accompanying this film at all? Serious question. Is there any audio description at all? If I spoke Portuguese and I showed up to a theater and I asked for audio description, would it come through as Portuguese audio description? No? Then, so you're just ignoring it altogether. Now, that can be problematic because Screen Actors Guild has an audio description requirement in order for eligibility, which makes me question what audio description are they paying for. Emilio Perez got in last year because it had a Spanish audio description track. Now, the interesting thing that I thought about with this is Wagner Moura, if Neon didn't pay for any audio description, the film's ineligible. If there's no audio description for this film, he can't be nominated. SAG has a requirement that the film must have an audio description track. So if they never create a single one, not even in Portuguese, he's ineligible. He can't get a SAG nomination. So because they have members of SAG who are blind, and so they passed that measure. The one thing they didn't do was say it had to be English audio description. It's just audio description. So if they're not passing through at least a Portuguese audio description track, then what? So it'll be interesting to see Brazilian Portuguese, what this film has and whether or not Wagner gets. And then the funny thing is, if he doesn't get a SAG nomination, everybody thinks he got snubbed. They don't realize that it's because Neon didn't pay for audio description. They'll just assume he got snubbed. Like, oh, it's the end of Wagner's campaign for the Oscar. But I'll know it's because Neon didn't pay for audio description. Anyway, yeah, I can't do anything with this. This is rotten. I don't know that there's much of a point for a score, but as a blind film critic, I got nothing out of this except for a great score. Like, I mean, the score was good. I've numbered some other things. I don't really know what to do with. I liked score. I did notice. I've done this with. I did it with like Voice of Hamajam and some other movies, where at least I'm able to like sort of fucking understand the movie a little bit. I don't have to do a score. It does say optional in the tomato meter. I could just do fresh or rotten, and I might just do that here. Just be like, yeah, this is just rotten. I don't know what the point of a score is here, because all I got was score, and I don't know how to grade that, and like one scene and a pop song, and I don't know what grade that is. Like, I got like a minute of, not even, I don't even think it was a minute. I think I got 30 seconds of English, one song that was in English, and then a great score. Now the score is killer. Like, I would vote for that. Independently, I might vote for that. If you're really wanting to know, like, how much am I willing to fuck Neon over? Not enough to like snub the score. I don't know. The score is in like literal consideration for a vote for me. But everything else, I don't know. Anyway, Audio describe your damn movies, Neon. Like, it's not that hard, it's not that expensive, and you've made enough money. You're not a little tiny itty bitty studio anymore. I don't feel like I'm yelling at like Greenwich Entertainment. you know? Uh, yeah, you're fucking Neon, man. If you want to play with the big boys and keep winning Oscars, you gotta play with the big boys. And the big boys, Warner, Disney, Netflix, Paramount, all those people, they put audio description on their movies. So if you want to push your shit into wide release, audio description. Otherwise, keep your shit in limited release. Take The Monkey and Keeper and all those movies and shove them back down there into 100 screens and pretend like you're a little itty bitty studio that can't get wide releases. Make a choice. But if you're gonna play in the big boys room with the all the toys, then you're gonna provide audio description. Damn it. Anyway, I'll see you guys on the other side.